Hi, and welcome back to Harriet's Custom Computer Art Plus. Today I'm going to be working on a custom treat bag with a butterfly theme. And the butterflies are double-sided so they look as if they could be actual butterflies. So let's get started. First I'm going to choose Cutout and Picture, and I'm going to choose Add a Colored Shape. Then I'm going to resize it so that it fills up a majority of the page, and I'm going to change it to royal blue, which is the color set I'm working in: royal blue, yellow, and gold. Now that I have my square the color I want it, I'm going to go back to that same function, which is Cutout in Picture, and I'm going to choose another colored shape, and I'm going to change it to white, and I'm just going to maneuver this on the page until I get the royal blue half of my bag to the shape that I want it, because I'm making a two-tone cover, front cover and back cover for the treat bag. Now I have the shape that I want, and I'm going to go back in and I'm just going to cut out the royal blue section of my design. Now I have it cut out all by itself. I'm going to choose a new blank sheet, and I'm going to just pull my cutout of the royal blue up to the new sheet, and I'm going to stretch it to the full width of the page. Now I'm going to add my second color. I'm going back to Cutout in Picture and add a colored shape. I changed it to a square, and I'm going to fill in all the white area on the page. Now I'm going to go into Paint and Color Effects, and I'm going to change that top half of my design into the color that I want, and I chose a yellowish beige. And you choose the color or the tone that you want just by moving the little ball around on top of the color wheel, or clicking anywhere within the inner circle. It will change to any color that you click on. Now I'm going to make a copy of just the royal blue half by clicking on the two sheets of paper at the top, and then I'm going to paste it on using the little clipboard, and I'm going to change it to a gradient. This is where I'm going to bring in the gold. So I click on the gold bars above. I change the pattern to the one that looks like rays. Then I clicked and dragged the gold layer so that it would be underneath the blue layer, and you can see that on the right hand side in the layers panel. Now I'm going in and I'm going to brighten up the gold a little to make it stand out a little more. So I went once again into Change Color and Effects. I've brightened up the gold to make it look a little richer. And now I'm going to give it a slight shadow by going into Special Effects. I put a little shadow on the blue and a little shadow on the gold to make it look as if it's a little more three-dimensional. I'm going to pull on the edges of the shadow to get it to just the thickness that I want, and then I'm going to adjust it, make it a little softer by sliding the bars to the left, and also make it a little lighter by using the transparent slide. Okay, now I have it like I want it. Now I'm going to be making a sort of scooped top, and I'm doing that by going back to Cutout in Picture. I'm going to choose the circle, turn it to gray or white, and then I'm just going to reposition it until it shows kind of like a scooped circle or a scooped edge at the top. I'm going to close that out. Now I'm going to cut out that gray or white section at the top. I'm going to go to cut out in picture, cut out of picture, by color, and I'm going to put my dipper just right inside of the gray area. To choose only that, I'm going to hit next, done, and then I'm going to delete that gray oval that I was using. And I'm also going to delete the original yellowish beige layer. And now I have the shape of the top of my purse. When I cropped out the gray edge, it left me with the shape of my purse. So then I went in and I deleted the other layers, which just left me with the original cut at the top, and I'm giving it a slight shadow. Now I'm going to work on making the bottom half of the bag or the sides of the bag to the shape that I'd like. So I'm going back to cut out with picture. I'm going to choose cut out of picture with the cookie cutter shape. I'm going to change it to the circle and then change that circle to an oval, slant it slightly toward the right because I want a curved edge at the bottom of the purse. I don't want it to be a complete square. So as you can see, I'm pulling that oval up, and that's going to give me the edge or the sides shape of my purse or treat bag. Once I have it exactly as I want it, I'm going to hit next. Now I'm going to add another area to it, the same cutout because I want both sides the same. So I just tilted the oval a little bit toward the left and moved it to the other side and clicked on add an area to the cutout. So now I'm positioning this at the corner or the side of the treat bag just like I did on the left side, so that I'll have both sides cut at the same time. And once I have it where I want it, I'm going to hit next and done. Now that I have both my sides cut the way I want them, as you can see on the upper right hand side in the layers, I'm going to cut out the center of my purse by choosing cut out of picture, and I'm choosing cut out on my own. So I'm just going to take it around the entire picture here, as you can see by the gray lines, and this will incorporate the initial cuts that I made, and it will now only leave the portion of the bag that I want left on the screen. So now I'm deleting the bottom picture, and as you can see, the edges are darker, the shadow is darker than in the middle. So I want to cut that shadow down so that it will all look like it's uniform. I don't want the edges dark and the inner portion lighter. So I'm just going back to that cutout of picture, add a colored shape, and I'm going to make it just like I did before to cut my scoop shape at the top of the purse. I'm going to use the same oval, and I'm going to remove that shadow just like that. Now I'm going to delete all of the layers except for the top layer, which is the shape of the treat bag that I like. Now I've resized the bag just a little bit so that I could see all of the edges. And I'm going to now search the internet to find the butterflies that I want to use on the bag. So I always like to type in high res and the items that I'm looking for, royalty free or free. So I'm just going to scroll through, and a lot of items you can tell whether they're free or not because they will be free of watermarks. So I'm getting some results for butterflies. So I click on images, and then that will bring up all of the different butterflies. And I'm just going to scroll through. I'm looking for one that looks like a blue monarch as the main butterfly. I also like the way this one looks. And I'm showing you that when you see the ones with the black or the gray and white checkerboard, you would have to crop or clip them out using the clipper tool that I'm showing you here. Otherwise, if you just copy and paste it into a sheet on Picture-it, the edges will turn black. The gray and white edges will turn black, and you don't want that because it'll make it harder for you to crop out the butterfly. So now I've pasted the butterfly onto a brand new page, and I cropped out that extra little black square that was remaining around the butterfly. Now I'm going to choose the gray areas, which will leave my blue butterfly behind. And now the pink edges are what would be left on the page if I do not change it to select the opposite picture. So I hit select the opposite picture, so it just cuts out the butterfly and it gets rid of the background that I had highlighted in pink. So I'm going to pull that butterfly from its page, twist the position to the position that I'd like it, and resize it until I get it just like I want it. By doing that, I'm making my mock-up, and then I'll use my mock-up, as I always do, to make all of my items, the treat bag, the chip bag, and all the rest of the items. So now I'm checking again to find other butterflies that I want. I want at least 3 butterflies. So I like this one also. So I'm going to use my snipping tool to snip it from this page, and then I'll right click on the butterfly, copy it, and paste it on the page in Microsoft Picture-it. I can use the same page. I'm just going to make that butterfly smaller, and then I'm going to put my new butterfly over it and enlarge it. And I cover up the other butterfly because if not, when I cropped it, it would keep both of the blue butterflies on the page joined together, but I want each one individually. So I cover the previous butterfly, I cropped out the edges, and now I have my second butterfly. So I'm going to click on that, left click on that, and drag it into the treat bag page. Now I want to find the last butterfly, the blue butterfly, and I like the way the monarch butterfly looks. So I'm going to look for a blue butterfly. Having trouble saying the word. I'm going to look for a blue butterfly now that looks like the monarch butterfly. I had to do quite a bit of scrolling, so I cropped some of that out. And now you'll see the butterfly that I chose. This beautiful blue, black and white butterfly. So I'm going to do the same thing I did before using my snipping tool. I'm going to snip it out of this page, right click on it. Those are some other butterflies I was thinking about using. Once I have the area selected, I'm going to right click in the middle of the butterfly and choose copy, and then I'm going to open up my page and picture it and paste it there and crop it out. I'm going to be repeating exactly what I did for the second butterfly. I'm going to paste it on this page, cover up all the other items that are on the page. I'm going to go to cut out in picture, cut out of picture, and I'm going to choose to trace the area on my own. As you can see, I'm going around the edges of the butterfly, just cropping out the black square that is left there. And now I'm going to fine-tune the area to make sure that I didn't cut off any of the butterfly by taking my arrow to the lines around the butterfly and adjusting them by clicking and dragging a little bit to reshape my crop. Then I deleted the layer that had the black square around it. Now I'm going to go back in to cut out of picture. I'm going to choose to add a colored shape, change it to white. I'm going to pull it on my layer so it's one layer behind my blue monarch appearing butterfly. And then I'm going to go back to cut out in picture, cut out of picture, choose cut out by color, and click just the white area. It's gonna highlight that area. Then I'm gonna choose select opposite area so that the only thing that will be cut out is the blue butterfly. Then I'm gonna click done. Now I'm going to switch back to my treat bag that I'm working on. I'm going to click on the blue butterfly that I want to add. I'm going to choose it, just that butterfly, from the layers on that little pop-up page, and I'm going to drag it up into my project. As you can see, I had some extra butterflies in there on this design, but I'm going to remove those because I think I just want to stick with just the 3 butterflies. So I'm going to hide those in the back just in case I want to use them on one of the other items that I'll be designing later. So I'm just going to reposition these until I have them where I want them. I'm going to group all of them by clicking the first butterfly, holding down the control key, and clicking the other 2 butterflies. And then I'm going to special effect and add a shadow, and I'm going to put a shadow around all 3 of them at the same time. I'm going to adjust the shadow to make it softer and a little transparent so that it shows up better. Now at this point in the project, it's going to be a good idea to save my progress so far to make sure that I don't lose my design. So I'm just going to save it as, I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to save it in Picture.it format. I'm not going to change it from Picture.it format. I'm just going to give it a name and save it. And as long as I save it in Picture.it format, I can go back in and pull elements off of it to make my other items for the butterfly set. Now I need to design a handle for the bag. So I'm going to need a new sheet in portrait mode or portrait position. I'm going to drag my design up to this new page so that I have enough room to design the handle that I want to use. I think I want to use a circular style handle with a metallic finish, so I can make this by using the circle shape, which is the add a colored shape from the cutout menu. And I'm just going to get it to where I want it, position it where I want it. Now I need a second oval, and this time I'm going to change it to white so that I can use it to shape my handle how I want to shape it. So I'm going to change this color, and then I'm going to put it a layer behind the treat bag portion of this design, and now I have the shape that I want to use as a handle. Now I'm going to just choose the blue portion of the handle, and I'm going to change it to that gold gradient. Then I'm going to click on the feature that makes it look like rays. Now I'm going to go in and add a shadow to that, because I'm going to be cutting the handle out in Cricut, and if those colors are light as they are right now, when I attempt to cut it out in Cricut, it might cut out some of my handle. So by me putting a light thin shadow around the edge of where it's the brightest, it will be able to go into Cricut, and I'll be able to just isolate the handle itself, and not any of the coloring out of the handle will be cut away. Fine-tuning the shadow until I get it just right, and once I have it exactly how I want it, I need to save this file, and it will be ready for me to use to make my other designs and to separate and make my pieces that I need to cut out on the Cricut. I'll have a short follow-up video to this one so that you will see how I divided the pieces up in order to print them for cutting them out, and then how I assembled the treat bag. Thank you once again for watching. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Share the videos, and if you'd like to see my tutorials as soon as I upload them, hit the bell. Once again, you've been watching Harriet's Custom Computer Art Plus.